welcome to stay for that too.
There you go.
I want to thank everyone for being here, and we're going to do our
No one living.
roll call for the meeting, for the July meeting of the Texas Association of Professional Bull Riders, bee removers. I do that because my friend Willie Grubaugh is his son is a bull rider, and he's like 10 years old, so he's always posting pictures of his son doing bull riding. So
Wow.
it's TXAPBR for them too. So we've got myself, President Rex Smith. We've got VP Charlie Agar here. We've got our treasurer, Brittany Fetterman. We've got our education director, Mark Lockhart, and our membership director, Chris Barnes, and guest member Steve Ewing is also in the house.
Yes, Steve-O.
All right. Next, we move to our secretary's report.
Yes, I've got the minutes for July 8th, 2022. In attendance on that day was board
June.
members. Sir,
June 8th.
what did I say, July?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. It says June on here. Sorry.
Okay.
June 8th, 2022. In attendance was President Rex Smith, Vice President Charlie Agar, Membership Committee Chair Chris Barnes, and Education Director Mark Lockhart. All board members were in attendance except for Ed Vesa, the Secretary, and Treasurer Brittany Fetterman. President Rex Smith called the meeting in order at approximately 6:30 p.m. Maybe that was 7 o'clock. Yeah, that was 7 o'clock, right?
Yeah.
Old business, there was no treasury report. A new member report, 2 new members were approved. Steve Brackman, Houston, Texas, bee removal specialist. Awesome that Steve finally joined. And Pierre Deas Taylor, Texas swarm remover. Bylaws change vote proposal to all members who vote on. June 1st is the email was sent out to Rex and the BOD for a vote. Rex is sending out the proposal, not Chris. Resending email out tonight on June 8th, 2022. Have until the next meeting, July 13th, to cast a vote. Delba subcontractors doing bee removals, shoddy work. Was that do not approve for membership? Delba, is that
DELPA.
Delpa? Okay, Delpa. Maybe edit that. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna go in there and change that. Not Delpa, but Delpa. In the future should not be a search engine for actual good professional bee removal companies, actual vetting the companies. Bill Baxter sounded intriguing with giving us the list. Apiary Inspection Service has the call list bee removal specialist locally. The permit we pay is not a bee removal permit. So they would rather give us the names and not refer to bee removals. So we finally got that list. I need to reach back out to Bill to pursue this. We have 33 members. We could convince him to point us to us for the list of beekeepers, more comfortable referring someone out of an association. Education Director, Mark Lexi, crystal clear caulk using for ceiling repair and window. This is more expensive, but it's worth it. Dries clear, paintable as well, new find. New business, insurance, Steve Osborne with Texas Insurance, formalizing a deal that we could offer to our members. Set it up over the phone. If one of our club members to do removals, they can call Steve and mention that they are members and get a discount on the insurance policy. We have to verify off the website. If we get enough people to sign up the organization, we could get a kickback on premiums. It's live now. Discount hasn't been decided on yet, but once the members start signing up, non-members will not be able to open the page. Discussing ag yard not paying, and then was it Rex talked about getting queens from Tuckabee Company. And so that's the minutes.
Motion to approve.
I done mute myself, sorry. I second the motion to approve the meeting minutes from last month. Thank you, Ed.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Improve. Aye. Vote aye.
All right, thank you. All right, next is treasurer's report. Brittany, are you in a bar?
No, I'm in a car.
Okay, okay.
You asked if I was in a bar, right?
Yeah.
Um,
It sounded like there was a lot of people around you.
sorry. Well, yeah, it was like the airport, but earlier.
Oh. Okay.
Well, it's 100 times better now.
Yeah, because well now I'm just in a car. Okay, so people. Okay, just have this up. Okay, so we have 1574 and some change in the bank account. Sorry, I don't have the exact change amount in front of me. I looked it up earlier and I screenshotted it, but apparently I didn't screenshot the right page. Because I was able to get them to like reimburse us for the last 2 months where they charged us for like the $10 at Frost Bank, if everyone kind of like remembers the whole
Mhm.
Frost Bank shenanigans. And then in PayPal we have also 100 and PayPal. In PayPal, we have an additional $186.23. So in total, I don't know how much that is about. Oh, someone can do the math on that. I'm like, I can't. I'm sorry, I'm not as organized as it should be. It's just like with all the flights and everything kind of coming back in. But yeah, y'all can kind of like sum those two together to figure out the total amounts we have. But so that's pretty much, we haven't done any expenditures. So we're looking good on that. Prospecting us with fees, and I think we were going to talk about if we wanted to potentially look at other banks. Chris before I flew out of the country had talked to me at about he had set up like his club with I think Wells Fargo, and they had like a ACH option direct on the website that kind of skips PayPal for payments. Like if we want to look into, I mean, we are currently now above the minimum threshold that Frost is gonna like charge us for. But if we, as a club, like actually need to spend any money, then we'll probably, at some point drop below. I guess they changed their threshold, increased it to 1,500. That is the minimum threshold you have to have in your account to not be charged $10 a month. And so, if at any point as an organization we are going to end up dropping beneath that, then we're going to incur the $10 monthly fee from Frost. So, we can kind of decide, like, are we comfortable with that, or do we want to look into other bank options, or, what people think about the situation with all that. I'd kind of sent an email about that at one point. Sorry, I've also caught a cold while I was on in Honduras, so apologies for that as well. Can y'all hear me? Did I just?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I was like, oh my God, I hope I didn't just like have a monologue that no one could hear.
No, we got it all.
Okay, good.
I think we got the gist of it.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, so, I'm open to whatever, if y'all want to discuss this, or people are like, no, let's just go with whatever, like,
Well, as long as Frost isn't charging us anymore, I don't think there's an urgency to move anymore.
Okay.
Well, as an organization, we do still have a $600 debt to you, Chris, for the money paid to the IRS.
That much, but yeah.
Yeah, it's not quite 600. I think we have like a 500 IOU on Chris now.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah.
I would prefer to wait on that until the balance gets a little bit higher, so we're not teetering on that minimum balance.
Okay,
Okay, so
I'm-
it was more like the idea if I don't know if like, kind of where, what the direction has been on, the website and like, at one point, there was discussion about potentially like hiring out like website design or services or maintenance. I don't remember exactly what it was, but so like if the organization is going to spend some money on that at that point we need to probably at least then think about
Right.
like how that is going to impact what we do for us. But other than that, it doesn't seem like we're really other than when we pay TDA on an annual basis, and then I think Chris has paid for hosting, that kind of stuff. It seemed to be the main expenses we've had thus far.
The hosting is actually paid for by our TBA membership.
Oh, okay.
We had a few plugins for the website that I paid
Okay,
for,
that's what it was.
but those were
Okay,
one-time expenses.
Okay, okay, got it. Yeah, so yeah, so is it sounds like if I'm understanding correctly, people are saying for now there's not really an urgency to change banks. Is that accurate?
That's my opinion.
Okay, one opinion. Okay. Are there any other opinions?
I mean, my local club just actually changed to Wells Fargo. Thank you.
Yeah, we mentioned Wells Fargo.
And I'm trying to do with my club what I suggested for the Rivers Group. So I would want to wait until I actually see how that works before we decide that that's actually a reason to do it. I want to make sure it actually works that way before we jump on board, because I'd hate to change banks and then not be able to do what we were hoping to do.
Okay.
all right, thank you, Brittany.
I have one thing to add for the treasurer's report.
Okay,
Yeah.
Because it's the I was going through our paperwork when I was changing my club's bank account. It made me go look at the IRS stuff for the club, and I was able to go ahead and I'm going to share my screen real quick.
I can't see it if you're sharing it for me.
I know, but if you go to the Google Drive, under bookkeeping and then tax forms, I did file. Oh, that's not the one I wanted to share. Those are the description. I did file this year's IRS form, the postcard, and I have the confirmation from the IRS that it was filed.
Okay, now is that like so like basically is that you filed income
It's
compliance with the 506 thing that they said we're not set up as?
No, that has nothing to do with that.
Okay.
This is simply because since we have an EIN with the IRS, and it's supposed to be related to the 501c6, but you still have to file a income tax statement with them. But clubs like ours, it's just like a little postcard size filing. They only ask one question: did you have annual receipts of more than $50,000? And if you say no, then they say, okay, you're fine. And then they send back the confirmation that I'm displaying on the screen right there.
Okay, so
but I just wanted to make sure that everybody knew that I did file that with the IRS and we got the confirmation back.
Thank you. What is the status with the other paperwork that you'd sent in like last year to IRS, and then they said like
I haven't been back to look at it.
Okay. So do we need to do anything else this year?
I have a bad feeling that we're just going to have to redo that paperwork.
Are we gonna have to repay the fee? Because that's ridiculous if that's the case.
Yeah, especially since it was them telling us that they needed information, but didn't tell us what information. I would say that we should fill out the forms and submit it again without the fee and put a note in there that says, we filed this last year. You told us that you needed more forms, but never told us what you needed. And then it was never possible for us to actually communicate with you because you never answered the phone.
Since you're already like the point person with them on that and they have your information from the last form, do you want to just do that? So it's like, doesn't make it more like complicated for them to kind of.
Yeah, I'll do it.
Follow up. Okay,
I'll do it.
that way they only.
So
there's-
that's an action item for me now.
Okay, and so then, do we need to file anything else with the IRS this year
No.
then?
No.
Okay,
All right, thank you, Brittany.
Uh-huh.
We're gonna mute you, Brittany. There's a lot of background noise, so.
I'm so sorry. I completely understand. I apologies. Okay, yeah, go ahead, mute me.
All right, next is our membership committee report. Anything, Chris?
Yeah, we have 2 new members to the applications that came in to vote on. They are Michael King from Huntsville applied as a swarm remover. I actually talked to him because when I looked at his application, he listed 2 different counties, but said he doesn't have the TASE permit. And he said, well, if they're in Montgomery County, I've got a friend that takes those. So I give them to him. So he keeps the ones in Waller County. His friend keeps the ones in Montgomery County. I said, okay, that's fine. The other guy that applied is Scott Turner from Waller. He's a full remover person, and he listed me, and let me get his application up real quick. His references were me, Steve Butler, and Michael Lopez, which, you know, those other 2 guys are not technically board members, or at least one of them is not anymore. But Scott's the guy that actually taught me how to do my first removal. So I did send it to the vetting committee. I did not hear from anybody on the vetting committee back. That would be Tony and Tara. But I think we should go ahead and just approve them.
I agree. And I think that King person went to join the Facebook group, but he didn't answer the last question. I didn't disapprove him, but I did send him a personal message that he did not answer all the questions on the Facebook group.
I don't even remember what the questions are.
Do you?
Well, the last one was, do you agree to all of the admin's rules? And there was no answer. I just said, hey, you need to fill that out.
Okay. So anyway, as membership director, I move that we accept these 2 memberships.
Do we have a second?
I second the motion.
All right,
I vote aye.
carries. All right, thank you.
Hey, Brittany, Scott, both of them marked that they had paid. Scott marked that he paid for this year, you know, the half of this year and all of next year.
That's accurate.
Okay, I did
accurate.
not log into PayPal to see if that's actually what they did.
That is accurate.
Okay,
Someone
well then
paid-
I
it
will
was like
mark them as,
$86.
okay, I'll mark them as
Okay.
paid on the spreadsheet then.
But I don't believe both paid for a year and a half. Did both?
No,
pay
no,
that?
the King
Okay,
only
yeah.
paid for this year.
Okay,
Yeah, he only paid 25, but Scott Turner paid for the half plus the next year.
yes, he did.
Okay, cool. That's all I had for membership then.
All right. Well, as part of that also, well, we could talk about the vote results.
Okay. I actually have them on my screen if you want me to share the screen.
Yes, please. Thank you.
Here it is, right here. 10 responses right here.
Okay.
And no, responses.
10 approved. Okay.
Oh, those are the people that voted. Come on, where does it show?
Well, it shows right above the word send responses. It says approve. So everyone approved.
Yeah, it had been showing me this cute little pie graph. I
Oh.
don't see that now. But yeah, it basically was unanimous. All 10 people voted to approve.
Okay. Well, motion passes for changing of our bylaws to basically make it easier for us to have a wider range of what we can do without it just being a black and white. You must pay $50. We can have a range of fees that we wish to assess for a charge or for a range of, do we just want to talk to the person, get them to be more
Right, it
professional,
frees our
whatever needs to be
hands up.
done. So that I guess the wording can go ahead and be changed in the bylaws then.
Yep, I will take care of that tomorrow.
Okay. And let's see, were there any actions or communications that need to be made now that we have made that change to the bylaws?
No, because all the previous complaints had already been dealt with. So we don't have anything outstanding right now.
Okay. Somebody had taken pictures off their website or something?
Well, actually, I went to his website and I couldn't find any.
Oh.
So
Maybe it's them.
I mean, and he had hundreds of pictures on his website, but they were all of him. So, you know, I'm not sure where they were looking at. Maybe they were looking in old archived stuff, but he can't control what's in the archives.
Wayback Machine.
Yeah. So, I mean, when I looked at his website, I thought, well, that he looks totally legit there. So I don't have any problems.
Okay. Well, that brings us to something that Brittany had mentioned earlier. Any website updates to be done?
Yes.
Yay.
Yay.
Let's hear it.
I'm going to share the screen again. It's not a big one, but it is something.
Okay.
On the website, when you now click on this find removal, it has a little blurb here telling the people, basically asking them, is it a colony or a swarm? And then telling them that, hey, we're going to ask you 2 questions to help you find a better person. And then it asks, is this a swarm or a full colony? And then what county in Texas are you located in? So let's say full colony and Collin County. Click on search. And it narrows the list down to just those matches. I'd kind of like to tweak it so that this looks a little prettier, but it's functional and I think it still looks okay. The only thing I'm not sure about is this yellow text here. If y'all want something else, we can change that, but it's readable on my screen.
I can read it on my cell phone.
You can? Okay, good. I actually did not check on my cell phone, but it's supposed to be responsive for different platforms. So,
This is awesome, dude. This looks great.
okay, cool.
Do they show up in alphabetical order by first name or last name?
Yeah, I haven't done the sort thing yet. That's actually something that should be easy to do. I just haven't done it.
Yeah.
Where it's randomly sorted. I think I just forgot to put a note on there to do it. Let me add that to my now I've got 2 action items. As soon as I find my pad of paper. Okay. So let's see, my other action item was IRS 501c6, and now random sort. Okay, cool. The one thing that I had meant to put on here, but I had forgotten, was under member benefits. I had thought I was going to put the stuff for group insurance here, for Central Texas insurance, so that people could see how to get better insurance or get the discount. And I thought I'd actually done that, but I couldn't find where I'd done it. So I guess I hadn't done it. I'm just going to make this link right here, this text right here, a clickable link, so that it takes them the information specifically about the insurance.
We're gonna list Citadel also.
Well, we don't actually have an agreement with Citadel yet.
Oh, okay.
I mean, we can list them as a place that a lot of people get insurance through.
Okay.
But I haven't called them, mostly because I don't have any relationship with them. I don't know. I've not talked to them before. I don't know if any of you guys actually have a relationship, or it's just you talk to whoever happens to answer the phone.
Yeah, Ed, I know Ed and I use Citadel. Did you renew a Citadel, Ed? Yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
my rate stayed the same this year. It was under $500.
All right. Well, I'll list them both on there.
Hey, Chris, do you see my background?
Yeah. Well, let me quit sharing the screen and then it'll show up better. The map.
Yeah, yeah. And that's a list of like McDonald's locations close to me. Is it possible we can get that? And the reason I ask this is because like my apiary is right in the corner of Harris County, between Harris, Waller, and Fort Bend County.
Right.
So
Actually,
you
I
know.
just talked to the guy that does the plugin that we were using for this, and he does not yet have a way to link it to Google Maps, but he's working on one already. And once he starts working on stuff, it usually shows up pretty fast.
Okay.
So I'm guessing within a few weeks, he may have something out there that we can use.
Right, because I'm technically in Harris County,
Right.
but I'm not interested in Eastern Harris County at all.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
So-
and some counties are huge and some aren't.
Right.
I know that there's some places that are little counties where there's nobody listed. And if somebody does a search, it shows up with nothing there. But if they were able to look at a map, they could, narrow it down or expand it out and find who the nearest people are. So yeah, doing a map for that is definitely on the agenda. I'm just waiting on them to release that plugin for it.
Okay. Thank you.
I do have a little bit more information about previous, what we talked about last month, as far as the apiary inspection service. The list of people who pay for that $35 transportation permit. We now have an official new chief apiary inspector. And my mind just went blank on her name all of a sudden. But I sent her an email and talked to her, and I said, I would love to sit down and talk with you about this. And she was very positive for discussing the issue. I did tell her we're not looking at trying to get them to get rid of the $35 permit, because that's something they generate funds with. But everybody knows that that's not really a removal permit. but so it really shouldn't be used as such. So on their website, what I really wanted to do is on their website where they have bee removals, just have them point to us. And I think that by itself will generate a lot more traffic to us. And by that same token, generate more members too.
I'm kind of divided on my thoughts on that because I guess I want to see what the ideas are on how that's going to happen. Because, you know, pay you $35 and you're listed. But now this new organization is wanting another, you know, $25 to list it again.
Well, I mean, Tay's, the $35 is supposed to be a permit
It's a
so that you
transport
can
permit.
move bees from one county to another.
Right.
It was never supposed to be for.
Yeah, I would think that they would delist, like that they would no longer have a list, like instead of, like, you know, those of us who are moving bees across county would still pay our $35, but that would be private information that they have. And on their website, it would be like need a removal and it would like link to the org.
That's
instead of like,
exactly what I want them to do. Yeah.
And they
Yeah.
want to get out of that bee removal list business for sure. That is a pain.
Yeah.
Look at how much liability
always has
language
been.
is on top of that page. They get so many, some guy came out and he didn't know what he was doing. And they're like, we're not affiliated. So I think that could be our pitch, that let us deal with the problem beekeepers, and we have a vetting committee, and that's
Mhm.
what membership's all about.
Well, and may have to change the way people are vetted too, because when we look at someone who does the removals, one of the questions is, are you listed with TAEUS for removal or for a transport permit? And it's easy to glance there and see if they're listed. Otherwise, are we gonna?
Yeah, and that was the topic I was going to bring up to discussion for him. It's like
Stamp a picture.
they
of
probably
your permit.
they probably want us to enforce that for people that are joining us. And it's like the guy that joined with as a swarm remover this month. When he listed 2 different counties, and he still said no, he didn't have the permit. I felt like I had to ask him, okay, what do you do with bees from a different county? And you know, I mean, people can say anything, but at least he gave the right answer.
Or, you know, does he live on the county line like Mark does? And, you know.
Well, yeah, but I mean, if you live on a county line and you move from one apiary to the other and they cross counties, you're supposed to pay the fee.
Yeah.
Even if you're not doing swarm catches or removals. But I think that's part of what we have for the discussion when we sit down with them. But my main point is that they were open to sitting down with us and discussing this.
Did she reply to that email? Because I didn't get a copy of any reply.
Yes.
So she did reply. Okay, good.
Yes. I will forward it to you. She copied Bill Baxter, but she didn't send it to you.
Okay.
Does anybody else want a copy of this? Or here, I'll just forward it to the board.
Okay. Yeah, I know forever, even since when Bill Baxter was the chief inspector,
Right.
they wanted nothing to do with removals.
Right.
That's pest control.
None
Pest
of them
control
have.
wants nothing to do with removals.
Yeah, Mary didn't want anything to do with it. I forget the name of the guy that was before Mary, but he didn't want anything to do with it.
Because all they get are calls about, complaints.
Yeah. And complaints they can do nothing about. So.
Yeah, that's a civil matter at that point,
Mhm. But anyway, I thought I would share that with the rest of the board.
Okay. Well, do we, let's see. I don't know that we have any new business to add that we haven't already talked about. Do we have any old business that needed to come up? I didn't have anything listed.
Well, that was old business that I just brought up, so
Okay,
I don't have anything else.
well, I put it under new business, so
Oh, okay.
I'll move it to old business.
I guess refiling the 501c6 paperwork is old business too. Oh, I do have new business.
Okay.
I'm not sure how it's going to affect us. When I logged into Zoom yesterday, just to make sure that the meeting was all still there and get all the recordings for Ed, there was a note there that said, meetings are going to be limited to 40 minutes from now on. Now,
Even their paid membership meetings? I thought that was just for the ones, the freebies.
yeah, that's for the freebies, but I'm not sure. I think we're technically using my club's Zoom account,
Right.
which the club doesn't pay for anything, but it's not a free one. I think that was when they were giving nonprofits like legit Zoom accounts during COVID, but I'm not sure how they're going to classify this account anymore.
Well,
It's more of just a heads up that it might affect us or it might not.
how much is is it a monthly or an annual membership or something?
Yeah, let me look. I haven't looked at Zoom pricing and
Well, find out and bring it to us next month.
looks like it's $150 per year. But if that's the case and we need it, I
We can
think
do
we
it.
look at other options too.
What are the other options? Like Google something?
Yeah, Google Hangouts. Once we get our 501c6 paperwork filed, Google actually has Workspace for nonprofits, which has gazillions of features to it, including group meetings like this too. And they're probably better than what Zoom does.
Yeah,
But
my
we have-
wife
we
uses
have to
it
get
for
that
her,
paperwork.
for her business, and
Uh-huh.
she says it's a lot better than regular Zoom,
Yeah.
the Google.
But we have to get that 501c6 paperwork filed first, or they're not going to set us up.
Oh,
So are we
Once we
waiting on
do
something
it,
back from them on that, or I don't understand what's our.
oh, they had sent us back in December, actually November and December. They called and left voicemail on my phone
Mhm.
that said, we're waiting on more information for your organization. Now, they never would tell me what that is. And then the phone number that they gave me to call back, I would call and it would say, due to high volume, due to COVID, we're not able to answer the phone. Click. It didn't give me the chance to even leave a message.
So we probably need to send a letter.
Yeah,
States exactly what was done, when it was done, and what we need from them.
right.
And that we are waiting on them with the men in black, just like they would do to us as a citizen.
Yeah. Yeah, that's probably exactly what I'm going to do in my
We
task
will
list.
release bees into the IRS building if they don't.
Well, and it was in Ohio. It wasn't even, there is an
Oh.
office in Austin, but
Yeah.
it's not them.
Well, some guy tried running a plane in there a couple of years ago, didn't he?
The
That
one in
didn't work for
Ohio?
No, in Austin.
Oh, I don't know. I hadn't heard about that.
Yeah, a little Cessna or something. He tried pulling a 911 on it.
Whoa, unreal.
All right, well, if we don't have anything else, we can end the meeting and stop the recording. If we want to stay on and talk, we can. We have dinner or business. Yeah,
Okay.
We're on.
All right, after website update is education chair, Mark Lockhart. Thank you, Mark.
Nothing to report. I've been lazy. I've been a little bit distracted with my structural reconstruction in my house. I don't know if you saw that, but I've got 3 studs that
The
were not
beams
studs
Not
anymore.
holding anything.
No. And it's supposed to be holding a valley rafter. And it's not holding anything. And I
The
have no
valley
idea
rafter
why
is
that.
holding the stud.
There's no contact. There's no wood to wood contact. I mean, it
Huh.
rotted away. The stud is just like hanging in midair. I reached in there and pulled
That
it out
sounds
with
like
my
magic
hand.
to me.
Yeah,
Or in your
yeah. I
case,
just-
looking at your background, it's the force.
Yeah, it's just the sheathing. The sheathing's holding it in place. That was it.
Some staples in the sheathing and a couple of rusted drywall nails. That was it. I just reached in there and pulled them right out. So I've been last 2.5 days just trying to build that up again. But anyway, what would you guys like for me to do for you next month? I mean, what areas do you think the experienced
I
people
would
or the
love for
new
you to
people?
come and take care of my hives in the heat.
No,
That's not what
well,
you meant.
I could do a video on how to deal with the heat. I mean, I work up in the attic in this heat, you know.
You're a better man than I am because I don't do it.
I won't.
I haven't looked at my. I collected honey back on the July 4th weekend. I haven't looked at my hive since then.
Well, I drink usually 2 gallons of ice water. I cool internally, you know. I don't try and cool externally. I do carry an ice vest with me. I do have air ventilation vest, a military vest, but I haven't used it. But you know, there's ways of dealing with the heat. My technician actually has a battery powered circulating ice vest which circulates water with a little pump.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. But I mean, what do you guys want? What would you like for me to do?
Well, tell us about the what was it, the Bee Weaver event was last month. There was the Conroe last weekend. What I wasn't there, so
You were the only one not there.
gas was still expensive then.
Yeah.
I triple booked myself that weekend and I didn't do any of those 3 things. So
I mean, I just sat at the table most of the time in Navasota. You know, Chris was busy doing his Captain Bee beard.
You notice my real beard's growing back now too.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
What about hardy plank? Taking the hardy plank off, putting it back, something like that, or
yeah, if that would be good because every time I have to deal with hardy plank, it ends up breaking into multiple pieces on me. I can't get that stuff off without breaking it.
oh, okay. All right, I'll do a video on hardy plank removal and reinstallation.
Okay.
Okay,
That'd be
that'll
cool.
give me a goal and you know, like most people, if I don't have a commitment and a deadline, I end up not doing anything. Okay, done deal.
all right, thank you. All right, well, I believe that concludes our meeting. You can stop recording.